I feel like this view is a little bit more better. Yeah, I think. I think that's better. But yeah. Um so I am talking about Reflection 7, and it's kind of going over the portfolio presentation and how I did in that. So I guess let's go through them. Okay, question 1 was, how did your portfolio presentation go in your eyes? Um, it went better than expected, but um, I think one of the main parts was that I didn't have the MSEP, Minnesota Standards of Effective Practice, on there, and I didn't really prepare you know as much as I wanted to for this presentation. But in many ways, I could still, I still have a chance to represent it if I wanted to, even if it wasn't for a grade. And then the other thing was is that the medium that I used, I wasn't I wasn't liking it as much, and the more and more I kept updating stuff on there, the less and less I wanted to, you know, fix and make the portfolio look nice. I was just adding stuff to it, and so maybe that was the issue when I was presenting. Question 2 was, what did you learn about your portfolio by presenting it to others? Um, I learned that, eventually I there wasn't a certain template that matched the perfect, portfolio. And that every person that went up before I went up had a different level of portfolio. Whether it was, really elaborate and they took some time to do it, or it was really short and sweet and, they did as much as they could in class. But I learned that whatever my portfolio is was the portfolio I made for myself for, you know, employers, teachers, principals of the future, or even students, perhaps. Those also who inspired, to, do stuff um, in terms of the arts. And that's kind of what my message was within that portfolio. So I kind of learned that making your portfolio is just forming who you are, yourself. It wasn't about, oh, get the assignment done. It wasn't about, creating something that had to be better than anybody else's, or make something that fit what Derek was looking for. It was just all about build your own portfolio, and what would you want to put on there that would show for the next employer in the future, for your career. It was for your career. It wasn't for anybody else's. It wasn't for the assignment. It was for your career. So I looked at it in that perspective eventually. Question 3 was, what did you learn about yourself as part of the presentation? Um, I don't know what it was, but I finally learned about myself that I'm not a person that just likes to strictly talk about his, accomplishments. I just like to talk about times, in my life where I learned stuff and how those things helped me move forward or keep going with the things I'm doing currently right now, or what I want to do for the future. But what was most important was that I didn't really actually take the time to stop and reflect on some or things that I've done in my life, and realize that, oh, I've done that. Oh, I've gotten that far. So maybe it was kind of like a like a whoa, like you've done all these things. So what is stopping you now at this point? So I kind of learned at that moment when I presented and sort of gave all these things about my history and my past, and um, thinking about when I was younger, wanting to accomplish the things that I've just now accomplished. Haven't accomplished them all. Like, I have hundreds of things on my bucket list, but at the same time, I learned that I keep progressively going. I keep working hard, because it doesn't, like, what I'm doing, it'll matter later on. So that's kind of what I learned about it. Um, Number 4, what would you do differently if you were able to do this again? I don't honestly know. But one thing I would definitely do different is change my medium. eFolio was not working for me. I might change it to WordPress or Weebly. Um, Come more prepared for the presentation. The MSEP could have been stronger. I could have had some. I wanted to give some examples within that, and tell why they were so important to me. Because a lot of students were like, "Oh, here's my MSEP." I kind of wanted to be like, "Here's my MSAP. Here's two of them, and here's why I chose to have those in that place." Um, but because I'm more of a person who likes to wait for someone to go first and see how they turn out. And then I'm like, okay, I was probably gonna do some of the things that they were gonna do, but I was gonna change it up completely. I want people to understand it, my portfolio from a different perspective, rather than just being like, hey, here's my stuff. But um, maybe make it more exciting next time, because it does get kind of boring up there when portfolio after portfolio, especially if you already gone and now you'd really have nothing else to do for the rest of the class. Just sit there and just wait for everybody else to get done. That's one thing I would change. Kind of mix it up. Um, and another thing is that I didn't really give the reason as to why I was in acting, or why I did film, or why I want to teach, or why those things helped me bring me to why I want to teach now. I should have explained that. So maybe next time, if there was a next time, um, I would change all those things. So hopefully this is enough for now. But yeah, portfolio presentation cut.